And now here's Del Fujinaka, managing partner of Hoku Legacy Holdings, empowering you to live and leave your legacy and simplifying the complexities of managing your cash flow.
Good morning. Aloha. My name is Del Fujinaka, your host for Success, Your Success, Sports and Finance. We are in day 307. Can you imagine? We're almost finishing up 2025 and November 5th. So many things to talk about this morning. And the whole goal with this is to see each and every one of you seeing success and hearing and thinking about your past sports stories. Remember now, sports doesn't have to be just basketball, football, baseball is the main ones, and let alone mixed martial arts. Last week we had a great guest on the show, Mr. Bruno Pucci, two-time international champion for jiu-jitsu. And yet the transitions that's going on in him and his wife, Angela Lee, which she'll be on live on November 19th, I believe. So many great stories. But what I love about hosting this show is every single day I'm discussing some kind of sport with someone, let alone how they've used the principles from sports to ignite and grow, persevere, have setups because of the setbacks in their lives. And that's what gets me really excited about the upcoming weeks, because we get to interview live great people along with great success, both in sports and finance. And, today's guest, it's an honor for me to introduce you to. He gets to share his story. Both of our kids went to high school together. I call that college because Iolani is like college tuition. We built a solid profession, partnership. And beyond the partnership, though, I love how last week I talked about living Hoku Pa'a. What does that mean to you and I? It's about living true north and looking at everything that might not be the best for each person. And so, I start off with this question to each and every one of you. What if everything you learned about money was only half the truth? Folks, when would you want to learn the other half? That's what started me on this journey. For decades, I was a financial advisor, had a financial firm, did everything right, doing a lot of stuff through Wall Street, putting together portfolios, doing 401k plans, and just really enjoying life. But what stuck out to me was when I began to hang around mega wealthy guys. Actually, one of this guy I'm introducing you today, mega wealthy, great success, international success. And yet, when I began to see the pattern going on, case in point, one guy, he was a president of PIMCO, Japan, largest bond asset management company at one point. And I asked him the simple question. I said, hey, we're golfing. And I go, you own any mutual funds? And he said, no, Deru-san, I don't. No mutual funds, huh? And let alone PIMCO? No, when I exit, he has venture capital. He bought Forbes, Japan. So there's a big disconnect. And that's what got me so excited about seeing the underdogs win. Some guys get offended by hearing underdogs, but underdogs, when you're an underdog, when you're not applying banking principles, you don't have access to capital, you're an underdog, even if you have $1 million in your investments. And that's what gets me super excited. So today's guest, I get to introduce to you literally a state champion in track and much more from Hong Kong and now living in Hawaii, Mr. Ave Kwok. Welcome, Mr. Ave Kwok.
Aloha, Dale.
So let's start things off. Thank you for coming and taking the time. I know you're a very, very busy man. Share with me about, your history. Like growing up, what was that environment like for you?
I kind of myself born and raised in a different environments, and the environments that really changes. So, so I first born in China, and it's a well-known place. If I said it, Wuhan.
Oh yeah, it's kind of familiar. Yeah,
very familiar, right? So we are affecting the world. So So I born and raised in Wuhan, and my dad was from Malaysia. So I'm actually half, so he's more like overseas Chinese, and has his dream and goals when he's young, and he moved to China, see China growth at that time, and he wants to join the China communism at that time. So that's where I born.
Yeah.
So when I born, that was end of the Cultural Revolution, and all the kids being taken care of basically by formulas, and you grow up and you learn how to discipline, and you don't create but you share. You don't want to talk about money. There's no money to talk when you're young in kindergarten. So.
Yeah.
So my dad was moving up to very high up, one of the second men of the district government. And one day he kind of asked me, "Hey, we gotta go." I said, "Oh, where are we going?" So we actually literally packed up when I was around 8 years old. So we had to go to Hong Kong.
I see.
And I didn't know about this story until when I was 30, 31 years old, and my father revealed it. I said, if we don't leave at that time, he'll probably go into jail. So, because at that time they were thinking about a lot of spies going on. Of course he's not a spy, but he was the one that in charge of more the medical section of the governments, and one of the moving up person to be replacing the mayor. So
wow.
Fortunately, he was getting a very good connection with the mayor of the city. So the mayor gave us 4 passports. So me, my younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and we moved out to Hong Kong. The life in Hong Kong is completely different.
Yes.
Almost opposite.
Wow.
So first, it's very stressful. It's not discipline. It's more than a wow. So. And we're actually living on the, halfway of the mountain. So we had to climb up. I had to climb up steps every day. When I go to high school and go to the middle school, and the school is pretty stressful because you don't understand the language. You speak Mandarin, and then you have a very stressful environment that everybody talking to you. You almost feel second class.
So when you were in Hong Kong, Eve, was it where you're a middle class or lower class or higher class, upper class? What was that like?
You will feel you are in the middle class,
Okay.
but because at that time Hong Kong's a highly growth country, highly growth city. So, and a lot of times they treat you a little different.
Mm.
Yeah, they more. I don't want to say look down on you, but more the language is different because you don't belong to that group. So. I was growing up in that environment, but the most important things is at that time I couldn't find the materials that was need to be taught. For example, like the share and the rap books and in China, and but what they instead they're teaching you how to make money.
Interesting.
Every single class that I go is more associated with how to generate money, how to make, and at that time, it was very stressful. I was growing up in that conditions, and all my classmates and peoples, they're all like that.
So power of association. You're thinking about money early on then. When
Yes,
you're
when I
younger.
was 10 years old, and
10 years old.
yes, that was injected. The environment is with all the high rises and monies, and
So Eve, share with me then, how do you tie that into sports? Like when was sports involved? Because a lot of times it's study, sports, or finance. How did you balance that when you were 10 going on to high school?
so sports really revealed when I was like 14, 15, when I was in that time. I'm come from China, so the resilience is built. So all the Chinese kids, they're they're more street learned, and in Hong Kong, you have a lot of kids. They're very bright, very very sharp, but they're more intellectually learned. So so when I was younger,
Yes.
so I was more fit. So one of the things that I really get into is running. Yeah, I found out I run pretty fast. One what I found out is my both sons has my genes, so I did lost to them when they was 14 years old. So, but at that time I'm much older, right? So so then we had a group of people, and I found out that running tracks, it's fun. You can win, but you don't win in a way that by yourself. It's very boring when you're running by yourself. So every Saturday, every Sunday, we have a group of people and group of they're all from all walks of life and younger, older,
right?
And they would group together and run tracks.
Well, so let's hold that thought, Eve. I want to expound more on that. The story, you growing up, how you tying it into sports and the victories. You use the word resilience along with winning, But when we come back, more of Ave Kwok.
Sports teaches valuable lessons, and through hard work and determination, you can shine in the business world. Hear great sports and financial stories that empower you to win. Del Fujinaka, managing partner of Hoku Legacy Holdings, will help you live and leave your legacy through unbiased wealth strategies that will help you offensively and defensively with your finances. Hoku Legacy Holdings, each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on CBS 1500, following Wake Up Today.
And now here's Del Fujinaka, managing partner of Hoku Legacy Holdings, empowering you to live and leave your legacy and simplifying the complexities of managing your cash flow.
We're back on Del Fujinaka with your success, sports, and finance. You got a little reflection time if you didn't hear anything, but yeah, we're talking to Ave Kwok, relating his success in sports and finance. So continue on, Eve. You're talking about your sport and your skill set within running.
Yes. So with a friend, a group of people, you start to playing tracks, and then of course you got pretty good attention from the school and say, wow, this kid's always winning. This runs pretty fast. So I joined the school team when I was around 14, 15 years old. And then I found out that I have ability to win. And this winning is very, very important because, when you're younger, when you learn all this stuff, when you're in a very stressful environment that you kind of 2 tiers behind in terms of schoolings and language. And
yes.
But the sports really give you satisfaction of you're above someone. You're above control. So this is the first time when I touch ground on winning the race. I start thinking, wow, human beings may have another version of the life that you can work a little harder, practice a little bit more, and you can get there.
Wow.
So that's the first tier of my theory when I was younger.
Okay.
But when I getting older, there was a turn. So I can explain to you what the turn is. So
go ahead.
Yeah. So I keep on winning, and winning quite a bit. And I was a state champion holders, and then that really builds my strength. And later on, it's always into my mind that your body, your health is very important. You got to keep it up. So I do a lot of weight trainings, and when I was doing young, and so that just to keep up that speed. So
Eve, I got to ask you, were you the team captain there, or what? You win the state. I mean, how did they do the team effort?
Well, 100-meter race is more individualism. So you really win, representing the school. So the team actually comes from when I'm doing the 4 times 100. So, and then that was the tough one. And we didn't win for years until my last year. So that was about 30 years of my school life. Okay. And I truly feel. And then I think that 4-time 100-meter race was the one that kind of changed how I do business down the road.
Okay, interesting. Let's pause there. And I have this question. You're talking about, I got to believe you were the fastest guy on the team.
I am.
right? And
I
were,
was.
yeah, you were. And you can run pretty fast. So you imagine like Incredibles, you felt like Flash then on Incredibles. Like you had superpower almost, like faster than most. So as far as the team, we're going to have another guy, a captain on the track and field team from Iolani in a future one. I think you met him, Mr. Ron Chang.
Yes.
Very successful guy at Bank of Hawaii. Yet the power of association, I'm trying to key in on that with winning and resilience, you know. Did you see yourself leveling others up to get them better?
Of course. So when you're in the team, you have two choices. You're either frustrated, and most of the time the frustration gets you lost, or you are working with someone and get them better, or you are better than them, and so you can win altogether. So one of my specialties I found out when I was doing the team effort, and I'm more like a coach, you know. Of course, we do have a coach, but when you're on the field, you have to be demonstrate you're one of the person that you can support. A lot of times, these three people, they all have different lives, and they might fail somewhere in their life, but you just have to get to know them well and what their ability is, and push them to the max.
Wow.
So that's how we win on my third year.
That's so good. You know, I'm thinking about both in sports now. I didn't even know about that, but I see how you train our team and getting them. You're talking about that law of magnet. You know, how do you wow an investor and win? You know, and they know that something different about our team and you and I. And then I was journaling this morning, and I quoted here, writing down, leaders gain credibility when they suffer with those they lead.
Correct.
Speak into that a little bit.
So when you become a team captain or team leader, a lot of times what they call the ego comes out. And I tend to have a person that was trained on the field that I don't have an ego. So the first things you don't want to train is, you know, you have a big ego. I want to win. I do want to win, but you also want the team to win as well. So you train everybody on the skill wise, how to start fast, how to end it fast. And the strategist is very important. You know, how they can work with you on the daily. I kind of taught them how I win. You know, what my pattern is. So, you know, we do have a big coach, but the big coaches are very busy. They will pinpoint to you what's wrong and what's right, and you just go practice it. But I'm more like an assistant coach to all of our team members that really how to practically can win. You know, how do you run it just a little faster? You know, and that's how you get there. So that's all come by practice and by strategies and by taking care of your bodies. You know, by taking care of strength every day.
Now, you mentioned taking care of your bodies. Did you have to persevere any injuries when you're training or?
Well, a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
and you know, when you're running fast, you know, when you don't coordinate well. So,
right.
And on the field, I see a lot of, you know, we have to go to hospital most of the time. So,
Wow.
but that's a life, you know.
Yes.
And every time you hurt, then everybody learn faster.
Yes. You know, I was thinking back in my own sports career. I never got hurt in high school. Everything seemed pretty easy, both on defensive back and quarterback. And we had a really good team that season, that time in 1985. You know, people laugh when they hear about Castle High School, but there's a reason why I didn't go to St. Louis High School, because Castle was so good. Yeah. So many good success. You met some of my friends from Castle too, you know. But I think about never getting hurt. And then in college, my freshman year, when everything was going right, I popped my hamstring. Right when you was talking about that, and then the resilience to try and get back.
Yeah.
You know, what are some memories for you when you were getting to the top, as far as the speed and everything at the 100 meters? What were some things that you remember that was a setback that was a setup now to win?
Well, it's always the sports is always about how to win, and that's when I was younger. And the best way to win the sport is practice and skills and, you know, coordinations. But you know, as I mentioned before, you almost want to get hurt and get to a point. When my son, he's a Yolani school number 34, with Division One. When he playing the football at that time,
Yes.
he gets hurt all the time. So one fun story he always tell me is, I said, how many major damage you have? He said 8 times, and so on when he has a shoulder displaced, and he actually before he go to urgent care, he pop up his shoulder back by himself. So
Oh my goodness.
but he's in the medical field.
Oh, he
So-
is. Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of times you see is what you're doing in the sports is kind of coherent that what you're gonna do in the future life. So that's one of the things that I was involved in the sport, because I know I'm not gonna doing this for a long time, but there's some sort of principles
Yes.
that you learn
Yes.
from the sports that helps. So that's why I always want to do and always practice, always encourage my kids to involve on the sports, because in the sport you can learn faster the resilience.
Wow, so good. Eve, I was also journaling this morning, and I wrote down leaders earn their right to be heard by serving others. And I can see how our relationship, doing business together, being in partnership with different commercial projects, with strategies for investing, it's skyrocketed because, when I think about leaders gain credibility when they suffer with those who they lead, as well as, they get heard because they're serving others. That's what I call, well, this is not a Hawaiian word, but hai maka maka, many people in Hawaii know, right? So they put their egos to the side and they choose to be more powerful with the team. And yet the skill set they have and everything they have that's successful, they bring to the table so that others we can serve to bring successful. So ha'aha'a is the word for Hawaiian. It's a Hawaiian word for humility. So I see that coming out of you all the time, and that's what I feel. I use the word blessed because it's really what I call hokupa'a, not only with you, but everything that we represent. And so a lot of times, we talk about, like, on a monthly basis, people think they're coming to like a financial workshop or seminar. It's furthest from a seminar. Like what I'm looking for, and you can see, right? A lot of them are accredited investors. So you have to have at least $1 million in investable. If you're single, you have to make at least $200,000 a year. So they deem you somebody who's credible enough that you can handle your investments. The purpose of that meetings is more, I call it a think tank, because we're vetting out. I don't care how high maka somebody is. If they don't have that same kindred spirit, right, of how they handle their ego, then we're okay. It's not a good fit. And that's what I love what's unfolding over the last 2 years. Actually, only 1 year we started doing that, and so many exciting things that I want, when we come back, I want to share, or I want you to share more on tying in more about sports and something you might want to parallel in, but more so take us to how you became successful when we come back.
So, you've built a successful business. Now what? Whether you want to sell, step back, or pass it on, your business needs to thrive without you. That's where the Hoku Legacy System comes in. Our step-by-step process helps you build a business that runs without you, boosting its value and giving you back control of your time. On average, businesses with a Value Builder score of 80+ receive offers of 6.1x pre-tax profit, compared to just 3.55x for the typical business. And many see their value increase by up to 71% after completing the full process. It's time to build a business that gives you freedom, value, and options. The Hoku Legacy System, built to protect your legacy and empower your next chapter.
CBS News Brief. The Supreme Court heard arguments over President Trump's use of an emergency power law to enact tariffs. Plaintiff's attorney Neil Katyal.
Never once did a president try and seek a IEPA as the basis to rewrite the entire tariff code.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says at least 9 people died in yesterday's crash of a UPS plane in Louisville, but the number could grow.
I believe by this afternoon we'll have a pretty good grasp, both the number of fatalities and if there there are any, the number of missing persons that we're still looking for.
President Trump hosted Republican senators at the White House and insisted again they get rid of the filibuster to win the government shutdown. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
That is just not an option, that the votes just aren't there to end the filibuster, because Republicans are concerned that later on down the line, if Democrats get control of the Senate, they could pass whatever they want to pass.
CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
Yeah. You're listening to Hoku Legacy on CBS 1500.
Welcome back to Your Success, Sports and Finance. This is Del Fujinaka. I forgot to give you our contact information. If anything is resonating for you, want more information, you can go to delfujinaka.com, DELFUJINAKA.com, as well as you can text our team at 808-741-8125, 808-741-8125. But we were talking about the power of association, as well as winning, as well as resilience. You know, the power of association is so good when you're dealing with the similar mindsets, whether it's sports or it's one's finance to get to success. We go through this process, and that process is, I remember those days when I was eating only Simon, dealing without, budgeting, leaving, just getting teased because I have peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But that principle of spending less than I make was a great one in relation to sports. But when you hit success, then it's about your ego and how you're handling it. And the powerful thing is we're in a season right now that there's so many people I'm associating with is going after significance. But we're here with Ave Kwok. Ave, can you share more about your success?
Great. So one of the person that it really influenced me in school is a teacher. So and he sees my success in terms of sports, but struggling in the school, but coming up. But he came to me. He said, I know you're always winning, but I want to show you one thing. In the sports, it's not all about winning. It's about humbling. Yeah. I don't understand what the language is. So actually, my 99% of the ears listening to winning, not that 1%. Mm-hmm. But the more and more I practice, what he's telling me is, he said, let me ask you this. If you're the champion, do you know which one listened to the hand clapping? I said, well, of course the champion. He said, no, it's the second one. Because when champion crossed the line, nobody clapped hands. But the second one crossed the line, he's the one hear the champion. He's the one gonna hear the clapping from the crowd. I couldn't understand this when I was 30 years old, when I started doing my business. Wow. I said, wow, we do need people to cheer for us, mm-hmm. but they're not cheering for the champion, but cheer for the second ones. What that second one really reveals is the person that finish, that's a perseverance. Mm-hmm. How do you keep things consistent? So that's what I really learned from sports is sometimes you don't need to be always winning. You just need that experience. Wow. Because that experience makes that whole hand clapping achievement for you and say, hey, Ave, you did it. So that was a principle really when I was getting older mm-hmm. and when I'm doing my business is we need a cheerful team mm-hmm. that build more success. Yeah.
Wow. So, I want you to brag a little, really. Show your success because it's trophies, but you don't live in the trophies. But yet, to have credibility and who we're associating with, brag a little bit because I saw you in the newspaper with like restaurants and share a little bit on that.
Oh, thank you. So just cut the chase. So I owned, I would say, quite a popular restaurant, J Dynasty.
Oh, dim sum, the winner, dim sum over there.
Yeah, I always like to see the lines and the Dada salons, one of the largest salons on the island, Keyring restaurants, mm-hmm. And also we also own a very successful builder company, Pacific Resources and PR Heavy Division. So we do a lot of import materials out of Asia for all the big projects. I'm a general contractor, so we do installation as well. And then also, I started my real estate portfolio at 2015. So I owned about 7 properties right now.
Okay.
And then some of them, they are one of them is with a partner, and the real estate is very, very. I compare with more the sports.
Yes.
When I was doing the restaurants, more teamwork.
Yes.
You get everybody, but the real estate is more like single decision makers, and you gotta do it right. So far, we're doing very, very well. So 7 properties, we have about 600 tenants, and we're 100% full on every single properties. The famous one will be Mauna Kea Marketplace. Yeah, and they do have a lot of culture there. We have 79 tenants, ground floor tenants, commercial, and a variety of a mix from fresh vegetable sellers to food court food makers, fresh seafood seller as well. And then also we have affordable housing tenants upstairs, 38 of them, and they all love the environment. So the real estate really gave me a great satisfaction of how not just the money. I'm going back to the principle of winning.
Mm-hmm.
So the winning part of a sports is really cross the line.
Yeah.
So and you win, and people admire you. The real estate is really not about you do a lot of rent roll and increase the money, and you collect a lot of money monthly,
right?
And that people count you as a second rich generation kind of people. So I'm more about getting more people involved and on the different skill sets, and let them to enjoy what that real estate really created a real feeling.
Yeah.
So
you know what I love about that when I'm thinking about, first off, thank you for allowing me to be a partner at Mauna Kea Marketplace.
Thank you.
So many great stories
partners.
there. So many great stories. One I want to highlight is you even got a couple or at least one homeless guy off the street to be your tenant. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we have so many great stories about Mauna Kea Marketplace. So the real estate was acquired at the 2023 under a very distressed situation. Everybody knows Chinatown. In the past, it's not quite a safe place to go, and they want to shop. When I was acquiring these properties, I always have sports principle. The sports principle basically is winning and losing, yes or no. So when people saying a lot of no's, then I want to investigate what's happening.
Yep.
Because when people say no, they stay away. So I was the one that say yes to acquire Mauna Kea Marketplace because I see other things. The other things is basically, this has a lot of culture there, a lot of great people, a lot of great product, freshest product in the world. And that's how I get into this real estate business by acquiring them. And then you build from there, and you build the success from there as well. So one of the typical example is a tenant.
Yep.
He's homeless for 30 years, went to jail for 10 years.
Wow.
And then, but what I noticed is when he living in the units, his behavior changed. He's more loving care. He loved the world now, and he actually helped the homeless get off the street. So I know there's a very important elements happens with the housing market. How you take care of that. We want less street people, and then one of the solutions is really you go into a true affordable housing solutions.
Yeah, one thing I think about, you changed my paradigm about Hawaii, because my real estate development was all out of Hawaii. The most tax favorable state, everything. We're just the right place at the right time, east of Lake Tahoe, and all these tech companies started going there. And my whole vision with that was anybody priced out of Hawaii. So we're going to have about 70 homes residential over there. But the price point for the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet, $400,000, Eve. And so the accredited investors who literally, they have the first right of refusal, who invested $100,000, that is another high makamaka, but ha'aha, where, normally you have what they call a tranche, 1 million minimum, right? I brought it down to 100,000. So these accredited investors who invested there, they have the vision. One of them, in fact, is going to move there and be the director for a fitness trail in that area.
Yep.
So not only priced out of Hawaii, but we're actually literally bringing the culture of Hawaii over there. So you can see a really nice mix of miners history. That's why the subdivision is called Legacy 49. And you're going to see also like tech guys all communing together, which I look forward to. It's a very exciting thing on that side. But you opened up my mind with the purpose over here in Hawaii too. And I don't know if you remember that time. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, there's things going on here in Hawaii that we can make impact. So, how, when you're thinking about opportunities of missing because we don't have quick access to capital when good deals arise, how does that, when we're looking at the time, we're going to take a break first. I was so into what was going on and I missed the cue. But yeah, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back with more questions.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Del Fujinaka of Hoku Legacy Solutions doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. He'll develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Del Fujinaka at Hoku Legacy Solutions for your personal portfolio x-ray. Call 808-741-8125. That's 808-741-8125. Or online at hoku-legacy.com.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Have you recently changed jobs and now have a 401k or other retirement account that you don't want to risk in the market? You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. And since you'll probably start another retirement account at your new job, why not make sure nothing happens to your last one? Del Fujinaka can help you roll over your retirement account from your previous employer and give you guaranteed of growth with no market risk. Did you know that if you're age 59 and a half, you can move money out of your employer plan, even if you're still working there? Call 808-741-8125 now and ask about up to a 10% bonus on your retirement money just for opening an account. Put your money on an elevator that only goes up. Our phone number again is 808-741-8125. That's 808-741-8125. You can get your free Safe Money Information Kit by calling us now 808-741-8125.
Yeah. You're listening to Hoku Legacy on CBS 1500.
Welcome back to Your Success, Sports and Finance, when we're relating all the different principles of sports to our finance and our success. You may be a person just really struggling getting out of debt. Get around the right power of association because you are destined to win. Then you might be a person who, you've seen some success, but what about significance? What about how many other people are better off because you lived? That's the essence, the culture, the process and results that we're talking to Ave Kwok, one of my awesome partners in a development company we're doing. So many things coming in the pipe where it's way more than profit. It's really about purpose. It's really about upholding and honoring the Native Hawaiian people and empowering them with everything to do with finance. But not only that, I think back, real shout out to how we came about this opportunity. We're even focused on restoring small business owners. So you might have heard that commercial, the underdogs for small business, roughly about 133,000 plus small business owners. My hat goes off to you for taking that risk to getting into, in my book, what I call the zero zone, where many people don't understand you, and get back up. There is people who are cheering you on. But we're talking about success with significance and the real estate strategies and the things that Eve got to see success, but moving on into significance. Share more about that, Eve.
Well, in every sports principle again, in every world of the corner, you always have some sort of business category. So each category, I tell you, they're not always doing well. So one of the things that I learned from sports, if you want to win, you need to change. So change means you need to change to better. You need to fine tune your strategies and all that. So I've been changing from business to business, but not giving up on them. But I'm changing to a better world. So restaurant business, I see it. The secret of restaurant business is not advertising. A lot of people think that, you got to TQM, you got to do a better service, you got to make sure that you greet the customers, and that's part of it.
Yep.
But the most important on the restaurant business is really your food quality and your taste. If it doesn't work, people don't line up for you. So one of the things that I always try to do with the restaurant business to how to build that simple ingredient formulas. So we change the taste, we make sure the food is good, and then also we build crowds. Because people see crowds, people want to go into the restaurant. That's norm in Hawaii. Construction business is the same. You make changes. So when we first come to a business, and China is very popular, the material is popular, but you know what? The quality is really bad. And how do you change that? So my company, when we came out, we have a big mind of how to change that industry, how to provide the best quality materials, the cabinetries, the doors, the granite countertops, how to make the unit shine. How do you get, made in China product, looks like made in U.S. product, made in Italy product. How do you compete with those guys? That's all because of craftsmanship. Now, what I noticed when I go to China and when we doing all the orderings, I noticed one thing about Chinese people. They're working very, very hard and at a very decent prices. So that's how you're going to get in there to control the quality. It's all about control. You control the quality and bring the quality back to the United States. And when I found out this kind of uphold quality in the building industry does make a big difference. So right now the product we provide at the lowest price, but at the highest quality. So, and then also we changed the real estate. Real estate again, you have a lot of distressed landlords. They don't know how to manage the properties. There must be there was inherited some of the land and properties from the ancestors, from the fathers and grandfathers and all that. They don't know how to manage. So a lot of times that's an opportunity for us to go in there. And as a landlord, you got to understand the people's life in there, because you're the president of that property, and you're affecting their life. If you make a wrong decision, right decision, if you repair, don't repair, people is gonna end up suffering, or people is gonna enjoying what your result is.
Eve,
so
sorry to interrupt, but I hear excellence oozing all out of you. Excellence, and one of the things, if I think back, your biggest competition, the timing of others you were competing with. Did you know their time when you're preparing for the state championship?
Yes. So
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are doing all these sports, and really they kind of teach you, guide you. The formula is you don't win by yourself. Winning by yourself is really no meaning. Nobody clap hands for you. It's really you have to bring the whole team, and the team is in every single industry. When you change that, change that interior formulas.
So I witnessed that, in preparation with the sport, how you prepared and was willing to adapt. And I talked a lot about what is your financial defensive and offensive playbook. There's great things we're taking advantage of for the underdogs with the one big beautiful bill, but you had opposition, right, with material in China. Can you share a little bit about that and how you adapted?
Yeah. So sometimes in the world there's a much bigger force. Politics is one of them. And So you just have to go along. So when we talk about material business, you talk about tariff, and tariff is getting very big, and you can go against them, but you only have single voice.
Right.
So what you do, you find ways to change your business format. So when we're manufacturing a big deal in China, when we were doing about 3 to 4 containers a week in the early 2010, and that was almost one of the highest import business in Hawaii. And then you got the politics hit on the table and said, Chinese, you gotta go, you gotta change. So at that time in 2015, we're already looking at manufacturing in Vietnam and in Cambodia. So we're doing the manufacturing in Cambodia nowadays. And what we found out, we had a similar result because we had a very basic manufacturing knowledge, how to bring the quality, how to uphold the quality. So we are actually bringing 1/3 of the factory workers out of China to Cambodia and set up a factory there. And this move was extremely successful. We were able to lower the price because the Cambodian workers' the labor price was lower. And then we were able to find a niche that to offset that tariff charge.
Wow. The niche and adapting. I think back in my financial advisor days too, when I'm listening to you, Ave, really about being unbiased. Who would have thought that I had the opportunity to audit one bank in Arkansas as well as 2 larger banks in Hawaii. And one of the tools they had, it's a property, but not real estate property. We're going to come back and talk about what we call the twin pillars of investing. Real estate is very, very powerful with baseline and growing steady, but there's banking principles involved with the real estate. And I found out that literally with life insurance, it's literally like a property. It's the most powerful estate planning tool, but many don't even know that it's a powerful banking tool. And if there's one word that the banks think about every single day, and constantly I'm consulting to empower the lower, the underdogs, is understanding spread. So, when we come back, more final thoughts on relating real estate, life insurance, sports, and finance when we come back.
So, you've built a successful business. Now what? Whether you want to sell, step back, or pass it on, your business needs to thrive without you. That's where the Hoku Legacy System comes in. Our step-by-step process helps you build a business that runs without you, boosting its value and giving you back control of your time. On average, businesses with a Value Builder score of 80+ receive offers of 6.1x pre-tax profit, compared to just 3.55x for the typical business. And many see their value increase by up to 71% after completing the full process. It's time to build a business that gives you freedom, value, and options. The Hoku Legacy System, built to protect your legacy and empower your next chapter.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Del Fujinaka of Hoku Legacy Solutions doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. He'll develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Del Fujinaka at Hoku Legacy Solutions for your personal portfolio x-ray. Call 808-741-8125. That's 808-741-8125. Or online at hoku-legacy.com.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Yeah. You're listening to Hoku Legacy on CBS 1500.
Folks, this is Del Fujinaka hosting Your Success, Sports, and Finance. I want to thank you if you were with us for the whole hour. Thanks for being a part of our, what I call Ohana. And, finishing thoughts for today, there's nothing more. You're listening to Ave Kwok, a very successful, not only a state champion, but all the principles he brought in with winning and resilience. And my takeaway is the power of association and bringing down the ego. I'm so grateful to be his partner. And if you want more information, feel free to text us at 808-741-8125, or you can go straight to the website. If you're a business owner, you want to win. We're doing this retreats coming up called the Unstoppable Business. You want an unstoppable business. You want breakthrough in your plateaus. That might be one for you. But you can go to hoku-legacy.com. If you want more information on being your advocate of playing the bank's game, playing the health insurance game, having more efficiency for your finances, you can go to delfujinaka.com. Now, Ave, this book I wrote, I was so grateful that you put some credentials here, and I just felt this tugging just to be whole focused on being unbiased with anything to do with money, not how much I get paid. I'm finding that the tools that I do, I get paid less, but it's unbiased for the investor and the client. You wrote down here, unbiased wealth is a masterclass at market domination, exposing flaws, rules, and unlocking unstoppable profit. Genius. You wrote the unstoppable literally over here. Genius insight to transform investors into legends. Ave Kwok, international commercial entrepreneur. Share a little bit more on that.
Well, your books, actually, I want to read your books. By the way, great books, guys. You should buy one of these, and then it's available on Amazon. The books, actually, I was thinking about you. I think you're writing to me. You're writing about me. So, this book is all about sharing. How do you recognize the ability of yourself, and then how do you really strategize your financially, and get a passive income, and so this is really and then build a legacy as well. So this book really reviews that how a leadership, or how you can lead in your life, your own leadership, and then how do you transfer the wealth later on to your future generations. So how do you plan well? So it's really a great book to read.
Well, I'm again honored that I had you on this show today. We're going to be archiving it. You're going to see it on the YouTube channel, and just grateful for all the people, closer friends that I get to associate with. And, you were listening to Success Sports and Finance interview with Ave Kwok, and I really appreciated your time. You folks have a wonderful, great, awesome, inspiring day. Aloha.
You've been listening to Del Fujinaka, managing partner of Hoku Legacy Holdings, simplifying the complexities of managing your cash flow and empowering you to live and leave your legacy.